wave. Tapped in, lately my life had a fast man, but it's ass plan. Fight for my life with the brass hands, and I still ball with a bad hand. Got an aerial point of view, but they'll never see the big picture through zoom lens. From the quicksand, make it push start, type of band's coupe with the tent plans. I'm back on my bender rolls for the kicks. They quick to give a nigga 2 cents. Put my circle tight like we glued hands. Like I don't believe in new friends. Trail light, I know the ice thin. I drop the song, get a few wins. I crave the comfort in my own skin. Really, I just wanna feel the world spin. Fuck up a check, watch me double that. I get it lit, I watch it bubble up. Remember opening for shows, never show, but I pulled through, I muscled up. Now the label one fuck with us. I spin the paper, let them know what's up. I figured I be really onto something, cause it's jealous niggas give a subtle love. Crazy, they hella shaky on that really, but that's fake. Shit see through the shade, shit they so unstable. Done waiting, I'ma wanderlust, I'm really going all the way to places. Never thought I'd take it all off the phrases, but I can't get no sleep, landing in the weeks. Life is bittersweet, I can't really explain it, but it's everything I need. At least for now I think that everything might be alright, okay, yeah. I can't get no sleep, landing in the weeks. Life is bittersweet, I can't really explain it, but it's everything I need. At least for now I think that everything might be alright, okay. These days I get replays, blue faces, how I decorated the loose page. Remember how I used to serve the plate, clean the food tray, working 8 to 4 from Tuesday through the weekdays. Hustle evenings at the stool off Highway 92 in Haywood, always running just a few late. Tucking a new game, back to the crib and I color in new ways. Wielded a new blade, but the budget tied me down like shoestrings. Collected the loose change, those were the days that made me. She on my line like a beacon, she could've swore that I was cheating. Be honest, I was barely breathing. Chasing the life how I wanted it, knowing that you was all that I need. Puzzle that all of the pieces that fit like a glove, you sit it right in front of me. How I don't see it. Hit up the Brody to fit, like daughters and I take it easy. Am I on or something, or am I reaching to be validated? Instead I get told from the parking space, why do it feel like I could have a vote for the ominous faces to all that won't save us? I thought the ground was for the breaking, look like it's all overrated. Yeah, like it's all overrated. Like it's all overrated to me. Like it's all overrated to me. Can't get no sleep, landing in the weeks. Life is bittersweet, I can't really explain it, but it's everything I need. At least for now I think that everything might be alright, okay, yeah. I can't get no sleep, landing in the weeks. Life is bittersweet, I can't really explain it, but it's everything I need. At least for now I think that everything might be alright, okay, yeah.
Welcome to another episode of the Bassline, music and sports here in Dubai. So yes, first of all, again, before we start the program, we would like to thank everyone. We would like to thank you all for liking our page, sa mga comment nyo, sa pag-share nyo, and sa mga nag-subscribe sa YouTube account namin. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat. And of course, we would like to thank as well yung mga nakaraang guests natin. Maraming salamat sa suporta nyo. Maraming salamat sa mga messages nyo. Eh, wala akong ibang masabi kung hindi salamat sa lahat. Maraming salamat. We would like to thank as well, bago tayo magsimula, our sponsors. We would like to thank Dubai Exclusive Fitness for weight loss program, personal training, whatever you need for your body, kung ano man yan. Paano nila kayo matutulungan? Just drop them a message on their Facebook page or contact them on dito na sa mga numbers sa screen namin. We would like to thank Alchemist Clothing, Flawless Beauty UAE, Chroma DXB, and of course, Sulud Misoy. Say what up to my boy Dan. We would like to thank as well Hope and Inspire Movement dyan sa Pilipinas. You could visit their Facebook and Instagram page at Hope and Inspire Movement Official. Please reach them at +63 917 627 4392. We would like to thank as well Lash and Bro. Dito po yan sa Dera. For microblading, eyelash lift, you could contact Kay Baroga at 054-588-5313. Again, that's 054-588-5313. Maraming salamat sa'yo, okay? Woo! So, for tonight, man, I'm just hindi ko alam yung pakiramdam ko. Hindi ko ma-explain because I'm gonna be talking sa isa sa mga nilolook up kong tao personally. And siguro naman dyan sa Pilipinas, alam nyo ang Soleslam, right? So sa mga sneakerheads and syempre ng mga nandito sa Dubai. So sobrang daming sneakerheads natin dito sa UAE. And this is really a treat for you guys. But of course, we're not going to be talking too much of about sneakers. But of course, alam ko naman na kikiligin kayo sa guest natin ngayon. So yes, wag na natin patagalin. Ipakita na natin siya. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, makakasama natin ngayon si Mr. Soleslam himself, Antonio Aguirre.
Thanks, guys. What's up, everyone?
Kamusta po, sir? Kamusta?
Well, is my mic loud enough, or is it good?
Yeah,
good?
It's clear. It's clear.
Doing good, happy, healthy. Well, adjusting to new life, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I mean, lahat naman tayo nasa sitwasyon na where we're just staying at home and gumagawa tayo ng something para alam mo yun, makapagbigay sa community natin and of course para sa mga sarili natin sa growth natin. So
I mean, it's not time to fret, but find ways where we can help the community continue to prosper and grow even further. Actually, I mean, I just set up everything just now, like a few minutes ago here at home, because I could not work in my office. I mean, dinner is bad, and it's just hard to work. So I just brought everything here at home. So it's just a mess right now. But happy to be conversing here with you, bro.
Oh, thank you so much. Of course. So magpapaunlak nyo dito. Maraming salamat po. So yes, Anton, we just have a couple of questions for you. Para of course sa mga supporters natin dito sa Pilipinas and dito rin sa UAE. Is that okay? Okay na ba? All right then. So yes, para sa mga hindi nakakilala, could you please tell us who is Antonio Aguirre?
Antonio Aguirre. Well, I'm an entrepreneur first and foremost. I have a few businesses, mostly in retail, fashion, in arts, in entertainment, music, and also in F&B, and also foreign currency. So I do trading, and well, I do have a podcast as well. It's called the Life Tech Podcast, and I started the brand. Well, it's actually an event that started as it was an event called Soleslam back in 2011. Wow,
yeah.
So yeah, it just stemmed from everything. I was short story. After when I got into college, I already had my own business. It was 99 when I first got into college in CSB, and the first thing I was actually doing was I was already setting up computers back then when it didn't exist. When the place Gilmore did not exist yet, so I was setting up computer shops everywhere, internet cafes, setting up their internet hotspots. So that's where I made my first big money in that business when I was in college. So I was such in a hurry to finish college. Actually, I finished it way faster than most of my batchmates because I was already making money by during that time. But then after a year of graduating from college, my business went down just because the products I was selling was already available in stores here in the Philippines, especially that location, Gilmore, actually blew up. So I lost that money making business that I had. So then I went to the States and then tried my luck. Then started working in BPO, in call center. I was in tech support because tech is really my forte. That's my thing. I'm a geek. I'm a tech geek. Basically, I just don't look the part. But ask me anything about network and latest technology and stuff. Most likely, I know some of the terminology still. So I'm very much into tech. So I got into technical support, and all the way from being agent to an operations director with a company called Asus, or people say it as Asus Computers. So I had tech support of over 4,000 agents back then, before we got recruited. So I was handling that business for about a good 2-3 years, and then all my people, all my operations managers, my team leads, supervisors, including me, we all got retrenched, and so we lost our jobs. And so and I was just newly married. That was 2010. I was newly married, and so my wife told me, let's just take things into perspective. Relax. We just got married. It's just a challenge. It's just a bump in the road. Why don't we, take a break? Let's go to the US and take a vacation. Through that time, I went to a friend of mine who I lived with in the States of San Francisco. His name is Paulo, JP. And he told me, there's this event in downtown San Francisco, and I want you to go there because I can't go. I have a ticket. I want you to go because you're into sneakers. I was into Jordans back then. So I went there, and I saw this event, outside the club, 12 noon, kids in front of me, 3 boxes each, holding it like this. Carrying boxes. It's like, what the fuck is going? It's like, and then I got in, gave my ticket, gave me a wristband, and then they gave me some freebies, some loot bag and stuff. It was like a small club that they converted into selling spots wherein there were vendors. And then I'm a hat collector too, so I collect a lot of hats. And I went to this guy and asked him, bro, how much is that hat? And he said, $120. And that meant $120 US dollars. And I said, are you serious? $120 for a hat? Because I usually buy my hats at Lids. It's just like $25, $30, New Year, those types of hats, right?
Yeah.
So mura lang. $120 for a hat. I just like it because it's 7 1/4. That's my size, and I want it red. And on it, he said, "Bruh, it's Supreme. What are you talking about? Go check eBay." And first encounter for me of the brand called Supreme. And then I went to eBay, went back home. I was able to buy a pair of Jordan 4 Laser 2005 pair, and then some other sneakers at that time. Went back home and then started checking out eBay and saw all these Supreme stuff. And that hat that I didn't buy, actually, I didn't buy it. When I checked on their website, it was just $35. And I said, why is it $120? And that's how I figured out it was resale. Because it was the law of supply and demand. People had high demand for that product, so I had to buy it at 4 times the price if I wanted that thing. So then research, and then when we got back to the Philippines, there was this raffle for a shoe called the Manny Pacquiao shoe, the Pacquiao Air Max 360, the blue pair of shoes, blue Air Maxes with the red Air Max at the back, and it's only limited to 16 pairs. So what I did was, it was a raffle, and what I did was I brought my staff from my pawn shop, from our money changer, about 16 guys, and I had them line up. All of them line up, raffle stubs. So I was able to get 3 pairs. I was lucky a pair, and then 2 of my staff got a pairs. I only got 3 pairs, and then I got the pair for about I think 8,000 each. I was able to sell each 2 pairs for I think 25,000.
Wow!
My pair, I had it signed by Manny Pacquiao because he's my godfather. So I had him sign it, including all the other stuff I had. So that signature easily rose up even higher. But I didn't sell them; it's still here at home with me. With 2 other pairs that were signed, I had it, disposed right away. So I figured out, this is something I could do.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, Bodhi, Henry Bodhi, Castillo, invited me to join a club called Soleslam Sneakerheads Club, and that's it. It's like a can of worms that I opened up. Actually, I remember the first time I started buying Jordans. Okay, before I actually went to the States, I told my wife I want to buy this pair of Jordan 9s. Jordan 9s, and it was the OG pair, the Apto's first retirement Jordan shoe when he was already playing baseball. And I told my wife, babe, I want to buy the shoe, and how much this cost? I told her 10,000, and I said, and she said, wow, this is too expensive, but go ahead, just buy it, just whatever. So I went to this guy. He lives in Eastwood City. I went to his condo, and he opened the door, and he gave me the pair, and I paid him, and his store slightly opened. Boom. And then I saw stacks and stacks of Nike Jordan shoes behind him, and said, "What's that? What's that? What's that?" And he told me, "Bro, we're the same size." His name is JumpJune23 on sulit.com.ph. So it's now Carousel, right? So who became a good friend of mine for years. Every pair that he had, because he was moving to Australia, so he's selling all his pairs. And I told him I want to get this and this and this and this. I said it like all the Jordan 1s, from one pair of Jordan 1 to 1 pair of Jordan 23. That's it, 1 to 23. And I ended up going back to him, I think 2 to 3 days after, loaded up my sedan with 17 pairs of shoes. And I bought from that guy. And I didn't know how to hide it from my wife because I told her I just bought a pair. And she had this weird look at me like every day, like, ano yan? Bagong sapatos na naman suot mo ah. Bagong? Yeah. Then she went to our stock room, which is here. Was here. It's so funny. And she opened the curtains like, what the hell is that? There's so many shoes. So yeah, what are you doing? But I want to get all of these. So yeah, that was pretty much my story. And then we started doing the event. Soleslam with my friends from Soul Haven. We started that event. Since my background, I have background in doing events. So I was the guy that set up everything, the venue, the vendors, and the sponsors. And that was crazy. That's when it turned out that I had a very impulsive buying market when it started Soleslam. I didn't know that what I was doing was advertising and marketing. I just knew how to sell it, like how to sell an event. Because I had zero marketing budget, but I was able to have 2,500 people go to that event just using my personal Facebook page, personal Facebook account. And I just started having my own Instagram account, and just 200 followers. That's it. And I was just surprised. It just grew from there, basically. Sneaker game just went boom here in the Philippines. It's funny. I got featured first on TV in 24 Horas, I think. And this guy said, Mike Enrique said, like, in his voice, like, isang Pilipino nagmamayari ng mga sapatos sa buong mundo. So that was his intro.
Yeah. That's how we, talk.
I was just showing the Nike hyper dunk Back to the Future. It wasn't the Back to the Future Nike. And damn, it's like the OG right before me said like, who the hell does he think he is? I mean, this guy's stupid. New haters, like a first set of haters coming out. People say crap about me, and well, that was the start of it. That was a learning curve for me, and so on. Very much just years back. Um, Now I'm not much into sneakers. I still appreciate sneakers now, but I've probably matured and become very, very picky in what I'm getting. Like, it's not how much the shoes is. I will not buy it because of it's expensive, because I want to wear them. It looks good on me and I feel good about it. That's it. Nothing more. Yeah.
So, pareho. Pareho, I mean, kung gusto kong, ano ba yun? Yung thinking ko na gano'n na, if I wanna wear this, I'll just buy this. But,
Right.
gusto ko eh. I mean, gusto ko siyang, kasi parang, lang.
Try to find ones that there, but just because I want them.
Yeah,
I feel
exactly.
that personality. That's it. So I'm a big fan of white sneakers. Even if the black color is more expensive, I mean, it's cheaper. I'll buy the white version of it. Whatever it is, whatever brand it is. If I like them, if it's usually white, it's my weakness.
All right.
Yeah.
So, para sa mga hindi nakakalam, especially dito sa UAE, Anton, could you please tell them about this Soleslam? What is Soleslam?
Soleslam started as a place for sneaker connoisseurs and collectors to come together, just to talk about buy, sell, trade, and just talk about their passion for sneakers and streetwear and everything around it. So it just evolved from there.
Mm-hmm.
And I started my clothing brand back in 2014. Actually, 3 years after we did the event. We were just making merch for the event, which was selling out. So started from there, and now it's events, and now it just stemmed from that. It's a difficult task for me trying to separate my name, Antonio Aguirre, from the brand Soleslam.
Yeah.
This was Soleslam, but I'd rather be called Antonio Aguirre, or just Antonio. That's it. Because what I do now is really very, very separate and very much different from what I do with my brand Soleslam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Soleslam continues to be available as merchandise. We were supposed to do an event this year.
Mm-hmm.
The last event we did was 2016. We were supposed to do our 10th Soleslam event. But we couldn't do that now in September because of the pandemic that we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully the economy goes better for most of us, and we'll be able to do those events again. Yeah.
Abangan natin yan. Because dito sa UAE, Anton, pagdating sa mga sneaker convention, ang isa sa mga sikat dito is Soul DXP. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. And so meron tayong ibang kakilala doon, and ayun, ang daming
I also go to one of the Soul DXP events, I think back in 2014, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't go as planned, but I was really supposed to be there as a guest. I think one of the founders is Filipina, I think. Filipina or Filipino. I think two of them are both Filipinos. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
also not Europe as well. So exchange, I think. Yeah.
mhm. So I just wanted to let them know, especially the sneakerheads here, na same concept. Ayun yung napansin ko, because there's a lot of resellers, and also merong mga nagpe-perform. So ganun kasi nakita ko, because when I was in the Philippines before, that was I think 2013, no, nung pumunta tayo. So pumunta kami sa isang event ng Soleslam dito to sa may Esplanade, right?
That was 2013, most likely.
2013, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
with automat.
Yeah, so I was there because of H Town of Wave. So yeah, H hooked me up. So sabi niya, bro, just try mo to, punta ka dito. If you don't know this event, check mo to. And yun, my wife was buntis ka nun, no? So ayun, so we went there, and that's the first time that
Were you
I've
still
been in a
living in
convention
the
like that.
Philippines when you went to the Soleslam event? You were still living in the Philippines?
Yeah, dumating kasi ako dito ng 2014. Yeah, tama, 2014, September 2014.
All right, awesome.
Mhm. And yes, dito naman sa Filipino community dito sa Dubai, I'm not sure in other Emirates. Meron din sariling sneaker convention dito ang mga Pinoy.
Right.
So gusto ko lang malaman nila na yung brand or I mean yung events na ginagawa nila dito is ginagawa na before sa Pilipinas kasi alam mo yun, parang iba yung tingin nila dito na parang sobrang nito sobrang ganda nitong event na to, ganito. Kasi yung mga bata ngayon, alam mo yun, sorry. Yung mga bata ngayon. Yung mga nagko-collect ngayon, yung mga collectors ngayon, parang sobrang na sila, sobrang na-amaze na sila sa mga nakikita nila ngayon. Well, anyway, just wanted to share that. So, going back to the questions, Anton, have you worked on multiple projects and events at once? How do you deal with it?
Oh yeah. So what happens is I'm a brand specialist and a consultant, business consultant for a lot of multinational companies, international companies. The work that I do requires me to hold events that's catered to the millennial and zillennial market, actually. The things that we do is to make sure that they go to the event, they have an experience, a holistic experience. So, of what their brand is and what they're showcasing. So, what I do is I help the brands set up those events, find the performers, even the cater, the lights and sounds and everything. So it's basically a project management. Sometimes I would have an event at 12 noon in BGC, and then I will have an event in Greenbelt at 7 in the evening. So it's 2 events in one day. It's crazy. I'm just going back and forth. So the day before that, sometimes I don't have enough sleep. But the important thing is I'm able to delegate my work to those people that I trained well to do the tasks that I do, because it requires a lot of decision making, fast decision making skills. So that's the most important thing. The lesser that they need to make decisions by myself, the better, because that's the role of a leader, making them accountable for whatever they're doing, not for them to follow whatever your orders are. So they become more proactive rather than reactive to things. I think that's one of the main keys into multitasking for my team. Always train them so that they're able to make decisions on their own, on the fly. And if they do make mistakes, we always review it and ask them, what's your logic behind doing this decision? Instead of scolding them, like, why the fuck did you do this? Why the hell did you do that? Instead of doing that, I would just tell them, what's your rationale in doing this instead of doing this? Tell me why you did this instead of this one. Get what I mean? So from there, it's a lesson for them. Instead of them remembering that they were being scolded for something that they did wrong because they decided on their gut feel. So everything is about decision making. It's either you choose A or B. You never know what's going to happen in road A if you choose road B, and vice versa. It's just based on decisions, and that's how it reacts to us.
And this I really personally I really like this episode that we're doing right now. I mean, you're getting a lot of free knowledge Yeah, galing kay Anton himself. I'm just amazed right now on on what I'm hearing.
It's just based on experience that I learned the easy way and most especially the hard way. Especially I'm very open about all my failures. Like I failed 7 businesses and I'm very proud of it. Each and every one of them. I failed in business partnerships and a lot of startups by myself. Made a lot of wrong decisions, and I'm proud to share all those mistakes because that's where the right decisions I make now happens. So that was in my 20s that I was making mistakes, and it was just fine. Now you have more responsibility at this point. So now you're able to have a clarity in your head what type of decisions you're supposed to make compared to before when it's just basic gut feel and stuff moving out. But now you know what's going to happen. It's like foresight, right?
Solid. Solid. Yeah. Ang galing. wala akong masabi because I'm just, I'm just listening and for sure maraming matututunan ng ang mga nanonood sa atin. And eto, Anton, isa to sa mga gusto kong itanong sa iyo. How have you dealt with difficult clients in your events like or past attendees?
Dealing with difficult clients. Actually, clients will always demand for the best. They will pay. There's a funny saying that your clients will pay you peanuts and expect you to give them a buffet.
Yeah.
That's why it's important that people know their worth. I posted this recently, and I said for people that saying that your rates are expensive, and I say your rates are never expensive. They just can't afford you. It's because you should know your worth and add tax. Just because when you know how much you're worth, you're not going to settle for example, you're worth $10,000 for your service, and then they're just going to pay $3,000 for your service, and they're going to accept it. You now have that responsibility to them that you should be able to deliver that type of service that you promised. But then you can't complain that you're just getting paid this amount because you settled for that.
Yeah.
So don't settle for something that you don't feel you're not worth, right? So the most important thing, so that you don't deal with because dealing with difficult client is part of work. You're not gonna have a always happy client or a client that's always saying like, yeah, it's okay lang yan, go lang, walang problema, okay lang. I mean, that's nearly impossible. They're always gonna demand the best out of you and what you do because they're gonna pounce on everything that they look forward to getting. So it's part of it. It's part of the business. So you should be able to handle that. Grace under pressure. Kumbaga, because it's part of the routine na kumbaga. And dealing with difficult clients is just part of it. Kumbaga, you're rolling with the punches na sa'yo. But it's fulfilling. Every time I finish an event and see how successful it is, and I feel very happy about it. I feel a sense of fulfillment. When it goes bad, that's when I look at it and review. Like, okay, what did I do wrong here? Where do we fuck up here? Or where was the loose end here? So then the next event you get it right. Because you know that you do always be perfect. You will never have a perfect event. Everything's a work in progress. For example, your registration area during this event was great. Was bad during this event. Now the next event, registration area was perfect, but then your backstage was horrible. And then your food vendors and stuff were which is chaotic. And then you fix it next event, and then you get another problem. There's always a problem that always arises because you're working with multiple people. Right? They're deciding on different things. Even if you give them directives, there are some certain wrench that they throw in to the problem, and that's where problems arise, and it's part of it. That's why people in events are paid a huge amount of money to do the event because it's really difficult. It's a pain in the neck. You know, it's a super headache to do these things. Yeah, but it's really part of the business.
Exactly. I agree. And okay. So talagang kasama siya. So sa mga nagpaplano din dito sa Dubai, you've heard it from him. So
Who wants to start doing that kind of business, they should work as an intern for someone that does events or whatever it is that you want to do. You want to do photography, intern for one great photographer. You want to be a good radio DJ, intern for a good radio station. You want to be a good painter, intern for a very good painter. I mean, that's it. You want to be a good businessman, stick around with five great business people. Work for them for free. Because the knowledge that you get from them would be something you cannot pay for or get in college. I feel like everything that you learn in college, yeah, it's great and all if it's a profession, but if you're going to go in business school in college just to learn business, I suggest you don't, because college itself in business will just teach you, that it is a business. The school is business, not what you're learning, right? So you learn business firsthand from working with so many people. I've worked for so many great business men and women in my life, and that's one of the biggest payments that I've gotten. Some of them I work for free out of my pocket.
Wow.
I would travel from Paranaque City to work for someone. I work for them twice a week and go there twice a week without getting paid. But the learnings I got there, the network of people that I got from there is humongous. It's huge. So that, when I always see that person, I always tell him thank you for giving me an opportunity. And he said, I never paid you. It's okay. And he understands why.
Even me, I mean, right now, I just want to be honest right now that I'm getting a lot from you. So thank you so much. But anyway, we're not done yet. But before we continue on the questions to Anton, I just wanted to play a clip. A clip was from Soleslam that this was 2015. Okay na ba i-play natin tong clip na to from Soleslam Manila? So, play natin tong isa na to. Para sa inyo to, para sa mga sneakerheads dito sa UAE. This is what I'm talking about. And yan, kasi ang dami kong mga tinanong dito and hindi sila familiar sa Soleslam. So I just wanna play this clip for them. So saglit lang to, 3 minutes lang to. So, yeah, that's what we're talking about here. About yung mga questions ko kanina. Eto yon. This is the soul slam that we're talking about. Sa mga hindi nakakaalam, sa mga tinanong ko dito, eto yon. So, yung mga nakita nyo dito sa Dubai or dito sa UAE, we've been doing this already in the Philippines way back. So, kagaya nga ng nabanggit ni Anton kanina, this started in the Philippines like 2011 if I'm not mistaken.
So the founders of DSB sent me an email and a letter thanking me for doing that event also, Soleslam in the Philippines, because it was one of their inspirations to do Soul DXB as well. I have it on my email, and I'm so glad that they invited me to go there. I just didn't know why I wasn't able to go there. I think I didn't have a visa or something, I don't know, something like that. Yeah, back then. But I would have loved to be in that show.
Of course. Siyempre, kung maging part kayo ng show or ng Soul DXB, I mean, yung flag ng Pilipinas is there. Because how do I say this? Dito sa Soul DXB, alam ko walang Pinoy dun eh. Walang Pinoy na, I mean, the mga organizers doon. And isa lang sa mga, isang Pilipino lang ang kinuha nila doon, who is, I'm not sure if you know this guy, CL Frostyle. Anyway, so,
yeah.
Ayun, so isa lang siya doon sa mga, siya lang yun pala yung nag-iisang Pinoy na andun na nagpe-perform, and about the organizers, hindi ko sure. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's go back to the questions, Anton. So, yeah, as an entrepreneur, who do you look up to, or like inspiration, like motivation in what you do?
Well, yeah. Inspiration actually, it's my parents. My mom actually, who is the entrepreneur in our family, more than my dad. My dad is like the rock in our home growing up, but my mom, she was the one who was being a businessman in the family. She would be selling anything under the sun even before I was born. From caldero to barong Tagalog, to longganisa, to everything. She was selling everything under the sun. And my dad was there to support her. And then she moved into jewelries, and that's where it came about that we had that kind of business in the family. But yeah, my mom was really the main inspiration, because growing up, I was already selling candies and chocolates, because my mom always traveled from the States. She would be out of the Philippines 8 out of the 12 months. And she would be traveling in the US, Europe, and other parts of Asia, and she would be here for just a few months. So whenever she's here, she drops off about a lot of food and some chocolates. And during grade school, I was selling those chocolates because I wasn't really a sweet tooth. So I was selling Three Musketeers, M&Ms in school, and my puhunan was free. So as a grade 3 student, I was making 500 pesos a day, what, 1990? I think 1991, 500 pesos a day is huge. Like 2,000 to about 4,000 pesos a week just selling those, chocolates. And during recess time, so I think that started my my entrepreneurial journey as a kid. And there was a time where my lola was making polvoron, and was making different polvoron. I said at grade 5, I said, "Lola, can you make some of them? I'll give you puhunan, and then you give it to me. I will sell it in school every Monday, because I go to her house every Sunday, pick it up. She makes those polvorons in packs of 3, and she would make the big ones and the small ones. The big ones I would sell for 3 pesos, the small ones 150. I knew how to differentiate, package deals. Like if you buy two, you get one free. All these things at grade five. So I was selling pulveron, and I sold them to my teachers, parents, and it's just from there. Even I had my favorite Filipino dessert, yung kuchinta. Yeah, I had my lola make that for me. So yeah. In high school, that's where I started. I think third year, fourth year high school, started selling computers because back then in the mall, Star Apple and Compex, we didn't have PC Express back in 1978. So I knew where the suppliers were of the desktop, the CPU. I knew how to build them together, get this memory card, hard drive, motherboard, put them all together, and it was for then the ones you get in store that was 30,000. I was making it for half the price, set up everything. So, and then it's just it was just word of mouth. I didn't know how to do email marketing. There was no there's no Facebook, there's no social media. There was ICQ. there's no Yahoo Messenger yet. So it was just email. I had a Yahoo email. That's how I sent out information to companies. Sent out proposal. Dear Mr. This and that, I would like to offer you my service of setting up computers and maintenance. So setting up their computer was one thing, but then giving a package of me going back to their office once a month to fix and maintain their monitor, keyboard, replace their keyboards, new mouse and everything, and upselling things. If you get a laser mouse, it would be a lot better than just getting another, the one with the roller or rubber thing underneath. So yeah, I was already upselling things. So that was the business model that I had, and I had my dad help me, put everything here in the sala of our house to the car and bring it and deliver all these boxes of desktop computers back then. And looking back, those great memories because it was one of our great bonding moments. Me and my father, because he was always supportive of what I do. Yeah.
I mean, ever since you ano ka pa, grade 1 or sorry, grade 3, you've been selling already, and pagdating mo ng high school, mas napalago mo pa, and then you're being aggressive. Kung paano ka, alam mo yun, parang kang lion na naghahanap ng kakainin na company na
but then, thing that I was doing in college and to my first year after graduating college, that was it. That was the end of my entrepreneurial side. And I went then to the corporate because I went to the call center business, right? From 2004 onwards. And then my sideline was I was working as a club promoter in the Fort in BGC. I was working for a lot of production companies. So that's where I learned doing events. But I wanted to be an entrepreneur back then because I kind of lost that interest doing that. So, I think for me, it's just hustling and learning a lot of different things, figuring out what I wanted to do. I mean, I was a DJ for 2 years, for a good 2 years, earning 2,000 pesos for a gig, I remember being a club promoter in club in the Fort. It was one of the biggest, if not the biggest, called Embassy Super Club. I remember this is how it goes. This is how difficult it was for me to make 3,000 pesos at that night, or else I would just be making 800 pesos. If I have minimum 15 guests, I was able to bring in, I'll get 800 pesos. But if I was able to get 50 people to come in, I get 3,000 pesos plus a bottle of either Jack Daniels or Johnny Walker, which I can use, drink myself, or sell to my VIP clients for 3,000. So that's 6,000 pesos per night. And when I'm already at my 46, 47 client and I'm still lacking 3 more, what I do is I go to the parking lot and then my first rookie mistake back then was going to cars which were nice. The Ferraris, the Range Rover, the nice cars. Approaching those people and saying, hey, if you guys are going to this club, I got you for free. I can let you in. Just mention my name and blah blah blah. And one of the guys mentioned, dude, I want the partners there. I own the club. Sorry, sir. Yeah, I'm just working, but good job. You're doing a great job, And so what I went instead for those people that didn't have the less nicer cars out there. I didn't want to mention which were a lot worse than the BMWs and the Mercedes Benz. I was knocking on windows to come in. So those were I let in, and from there I met I met three of the richest men in the Philippines, not knowingly. So one of them is in the top 10, one is in the top 20, one of them is in the top 40. And I didn't realize they were, millionaires and billionaires because they're just having a good time and what have you. And then after I finished that time of my life when I was in the club promotions, and when I was doing Soleslam, that's when, they were in my contacts and I reached out to them and some of them reached out to me. And then, we figured out things, and lo and behold, I was doing business with them as well. And some of them, I'm consulting for some of them now. So yes, it's crazy. Like I would always say this, like your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
I would rather have a million contacts with different people that it's just a phone call or a text away rather than, having a million dollars right now, to be honest. Because with that type of network, it just means that it's easier to do something that you want because you have people that you can work with together, much more than money can do. The power of people working together, collaborating to do something great is far more greater than any sum of money can give you. So that's one piece of advice I would give to the young ones out there. Network as much as you can. I mean, and don't burn any bridges. I hate the fact that right now there are still some people who I'm not doing great, or I'm not at least civil with. I fixed some of them because I was put into that situation because it's just a small market that I'm in, and I bump these people that I don't have a good relationship now, just because of politics and stuff, or whatever the reason it is. And I try to reach out and it just doesn't happen, but I feel bad about those because those could be situations wherein I could be putting together things with them that would be greater. But, stuff happens. But all in all, I just want to be able to network with so many people as much as I can. Whether you guys who are in Dubai or someone who's based in Montana or Ohio or somewhere in Russia, I'm so proud to say that I have so many friends all over the world. That's one of the, and they're not just Filipinos, and they're natives in their land. I have friends who are Japanese, Chinese. I have friends who are Mongolian. It's crazy to be knowing all these types of people and knowing their culture. And, when you go to their country, be able to see them and meet them, That's one way that social media brings us closer. I mean, we're doing this conversation now. I mean, it's what, 10 there in the morning, and I'm here in the afternoon talking to you guys, right?
Right.
Yeah, networking is huge. It's super underrated in business.
But yeah, I mean, napakalaking napakalaking halaga nito. If you're doing business, syempre, lahat naman dito magagaling sa network mo.
Right.
But eto Anton, to what do you attribute your success?
Quality, consistency and continuity. Because I wouldn't say I always did a quality job in all my things because that is always quantifiable. I mean, it's hard to quantify quality. It's the eye of the beholder. It's like beauty. Quality is like beauty. It depends on who's looking. It may be beautiful for you or great work for you, but for someone else, it's not. But then when you're talking about consistency and continuity, those are things that you can quantify. Like in a week, how many times you did this? In a month, how many times you did that? All these things, right? So those are things that you can quantify, and you do it consistently. And I think that's one of the key ingredients to being successful. It's a repetitive process, not a one-time, big-time thing that you do, right? Because people are always looking at that, home run. Like, parang, kaya people, they tumataya sila sa loto. Kasi parang, doon nila yung nasa na, one-time, big-time, bila na lang puputok.
Yeah,
Bila na lang. Or, this person who always overthinks what he wants to do on his social media feed because he's looking for that one big viral thing that he's gonna do, and then he's gonna wait another months and years for him to do something that's gonna get viral again. It's gonna get him, to being famous. No, you do it. I always say slow and steady always will win the race. Slow and steady wins the race. I have that mindset always that everything takes time. Everything great takes time. Everything that you work for takes time. A great building that you're trying to build for yourself, a great skyscraper you're going to build, it's not built overnight. It takes time, and it requires a lot of people to share that vision with you, whatever you're trying to make, whatever dreams or aspirations you're trying to make. It requires people to be working with you, not for you, with you. Right? Because you believe in the same dream that you have. So you're trying to grow and foster that dream together. Kasi parang sometimes people think na tomorrow I'm gonna be a millionaire. Like how? Like how do you visualize being wealthy? What do you think is wealthy for you? Basta malaking bahay ko, may kotse ako, ganyan, magandang kotse, ganyan. How? Like, there are steps to doing that, It's not done overnight. So you have to visualize the dream that you make. And I have this notebook that I keep, actually after our session. I have a few coaching sessions I'm gonna do afterwards, and that's what I do. I have a notebook wherein I put in all my dreams and aspirations, and it may be laughable to some, but I believe in them. These are the things I want to achieve, and I write it down instead of writing it on my phone. Because when you write down things, remember when you're in college, when you write down your notes, remember them more.
Exactly.
Right? You review that. Oh yeah, remember I was writing this. Because when you write it, it makes your brain connect your hand that you're writing something. So it's a longer process. And scientifically, it really proves that, these are things you remember. Because if you visualize things. Yeah.
But so how would you like to the culture to be perceived in terms of establishing or making a mark?
Well, if you're talking about the local culture in the Philippines,
Yeah, in the Philippines.
In the Philippines, well, we have a unique culture because we're a mix of Eastern and Western influences. So, and I think the originality of the Filipino stems out from our heritage, where we came from, and that's what makes us different. We're a long way to go. We have a long way to go into being world class, I would say, in terms of the quality, let's say, of the merchandise or products that we make. We're not there yet. I've seen some brands that are close to doing that right now, but we're not there yet, especially right now with the pandemic. Even hard to start something that's fashion related or even culture related right now. To be honest, now's not a great time because now it's not a priority, to be, new merchandise. So every time someone asks me, is it a great time to start a clothing brand? Well, if it's gonna help you make money, maybe not. But if you have a brand pre-COVID and you want people to know more about them, now's a great time for you to share to people that you have a great brand, so that when the world opens up again, they'll be ready to buy into whatever you're trying to share or the movement that you're trying to start with. But right now, I don't think it's a priority right now. And people are going to be lining up for your stuff, whatever it is that you're trying to sell. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, culture is always evolving. There no one's gonna be the starter of something. Everyone's supposed to be a pillar for the culture. It's not like Hercules is doing the heavy lifting for everyone. It's everyone participating. It's community.
Community.
Of
course.
It's community based. So it's and then the followers are affiliation. It's affiliate based, right? So yeah.
Mm-hmm. But are you planning to expand, let's say, your events and your businesses abroad?
Yeah. Well, I do have my products in LA because some of my clothes are manufactured in Los Angeles. It's just sad to know that some of these places we're in, our merchandise are located like in Fairfax. We're looted. So I truly feel bad for some of my friends who are entrepreneurs, Filipino entrepreneurs who I've met because of the local culture of the industry of street culture, and it's really sad because how they treated the looters, how they treated street culture, like when they raid sneaker stores or resale stores, because it gave so much to them, and this is how they repay them. Because the looters themselves know what to get, right? These are people who are into the culture, and we all feel bad that that's how they took them, and even the brands who were not doing so well were looted and vandalized as well. And I mean, their insurance can pay for them. Right, the insurance would be able to pay for them, but the scars left by this that they did to them is just horrible. It's not something that we would warrant. Stuff that does happen, but we will. Like a friend of mine told me in the US, who's a business owner there, we will all rise up again. It's just a bumpy road for us.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be better. We'll be better. It's a long curve for us to get back on track right now. Everyone's in survival mode right now when it comes to business. And right now, what's happening to us, it's not something new. It's we've been there before. Our forefathers have been there before. In 1920s, we had the Great Depression. 100 years before that, same thing. And we're experiencing now. It's the Great Recession for sure. It was supposed to happen in 2022, but then it happened earlier, 2 years earlier. So it's starting now. So but people are always going to be adaptive. You're going to evolve. I just, for example, like me, I figured out that my restaurant business, which we relied 90% heavily on dine-in people, we're now doing 100% pickups or delivery, via delivery service. And we have zero sales when it comes to dine-in because, who's going to dine in, right? And I feel bad for some of my other friends whose business is when it's shabu shabu or eat all you can and stuff like those, or when you're sharing plates with everyone. But you learn to adapt to things that will work. If your business is stuck on brick and mortar and you're scared that being on Lazada will hurt your business integrity and your credibility to people, then you're missing out on 80% of your online market. My brand is on Lazada right now, and making killing selling our merchandise on Lazada. And we're promoting that heavily just because it reaches people a lot easier. And those online platforms, Lazada, Shopee, we're in Zalora as well. All these products that we have, it's there online. and people are buying them because they know it's there. So you just tell people that you have a product. Because what's the use of having a product, a nice shirt and a nice design that you have, and people don't know how to get them? If you're just gonna do like shipping from your Instagram page, you're not gonna go further because some people are still reluctant to say like, I don't want to put my product in Lazada kasi baka masira yung product integrity namin. Parang maging baduy ba? You're gonna miss out on a lot because e-commerce is really huge right now. And brick and mortar stores are quickly realizing that the importance of having a strong e-commerce, a stronghold in e-commerce right now. So yeah.
And sobrang dami kong napupulot ngayon. And I'm just, listening sa lahat ng mga sinasabi mo. Wala lang. I mean, treat to para sa lahat. I mean, we're educating right now. No, not me. Antonio is educating right now sa ating mga nanonood o sa inyong mga nanonood. Especially dito sa Dubai. Ang daming nagsisimulang negosyo. So, you're getting a lot from this episode. Anyway. So, gusto ko muna ipakita sa kanila. Okay lang ba, Antonio, ipakita ko yung isang clip mo dito sa Life Deck Show. Dito sa isang lang natin. Eto. Videos natin. So, eto. Para sa lahat ng nanonood. So, this is his podcast. And ang title nito, you can check his page, Life Deck Show with Antonio Aguirre Jr. So, just search on that. Later on, I'm gonna flash it here on our screen. So, makikita nyo dito yung page. And I'm gonna be sharing his links as well. Yung page niya. And do you have a YouTube channel?
Yes, I do. It's Antonio Aguirre Jr. There's two. I'm not able to delete the old one, but the one 10,000 subscribers, that's my YouTube channel. It has, I think, around 30, 40, almost 40 videos. Yeah. So that's my YouTube channel, the one with my Life Deck Show logo.
Okay. All right then. So I'm going to post it. Post all of your links here on this episode as well para makita nila. So, yeah. Ipakita muna natin to. So, eto, maski ako, papanoorin ko lahat ng episode niya. So, yeah. Ipakita na natin.
First, sir, since we're talking about business.
Right, yeah.
How do you start?
Okay. For me, I think you find something that you're actually good at. And that you're passionate about. If you're good at it, then eventually you will be passionate about it. That's one thing. But for me, if you're passionate about it, even if you're not great, you will be very good at it. You know what I'm saying? Like me, for example, I want to do podcasts. Like I want to talk, but I'm not a great speaker. Like I don't talk great. I feel like I write better rather than talking. But through practice and repetition, you can get better at. Like I feel like I'm not great. I'm not good at talking, but I'm learning.
Yeah.
Right now, talking to you guys, I'm still learning how to modulate my voice. Ask questions and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm still learning. I'm not saying I'm a finished product.
Yeah.
So the important thing is do something that you actually like to do because it's the reason that you're gonna do it repetitively over and over and over again.
This is what I'm talking about. Ito yung gusto kong i-share sa lahat ngayon. Hindi lang para sa mga tao dito sa UAE, kundi para dyan sa Pilipinas. This is something that you really want to, watch. Well, take something from it because it's free knowledge that Antonio is giving. Nalalaman natin sa kanya yung mga secrets or let's say kung paano tayo magi-improve when it comes to business or kung ano man yan na tinatahak nyo. Well, kagaya nitong pinlay natin kanina. So, it's like me. I mean, honestly, ganun ako eh. I mean, I'm not like I just started this show. We just started this Bassline. I'm not a good speaker, and yeah, but I'm learning. Well, diba? I'm just so happy right now na kasama ko ngayon dito si Antonio Aguirre sa show namin. So, I mean, and for sure, papanoorin ko lahat ng episodes niya dito sa page niya and also sa YouTube channel niya.
Right. I mean, I don't have time to convince people to actually like me in what I do. I mean, that's not my job to do. Like, I go into meetings and end it in 5 minutes just because I know that they're not convinced right there. It's not my job to convince everyone, but to tell them what I actually do and what I can do for them. That's it. But I already know that, sometimes I end up meeting in just 5-7 minutes just because I know we're not going to go anywhere. And sometimes a meeting that I supposed to have for only 30 minutes would end up being 3 hours long because we're already, in too deep with the details that we're going to do with our partnership or whatever it is we're going to do. That's just it. Don't waste your time trying to convince people what you're trying to build. Find people that will believe in you, that actually believe in you. Because it's harder to have people stay than actually go to you. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you have people that believe in you, give them reason for them to stay with you. Not accumulate so many people that believe in you and then you have to be consistent about your commitments to them. Right?
Wow. I mean, siguro, kailangan ko sigurong gawing talagang, paano ko ba sasabihin to? Sorry medyo naano lang ako sa mga nakukuha ko ngayon. I'm just overwhelmed. Paano ko ba i-explain? Parang, naku, pwede ka ba namin kuning life coach, ganon?
I do have coaching session Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I allocate usually my 2 p.m. Actually late now for this one. So thank you for patience, guys. If you guys are watching, I have 4 coaching sessions after this one. So yeah, I do regular coaching with a lot of people. The important thing is they're always willing to learn and apply whatever they're learning. Because you think you're learning right now for those who are actually watching, and then you're getting inspired by doing this, but in fact you're not doing shit yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because you haven't made any movement, have your motor be in perpetual motion. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're going to ask me if I have any motivation whatsoever, or someone that motivates me, I mean my wife supports me, but my motivation itself, it's self-motivation. I have that motor that I have run the moment I wake up, that I'm ready. I'm motivated and I'm dedicated. I'm motivated and dedicated. I always repeat that to myself. I always tell myself that I'm motivated and dedicated 100%. No one's going to inspire me but myself. Because no one's going to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Like if you start a business, no one's going to make treat your business like its own baby, like its own child, because they're not sharing the same vision as you. That's why if you have your own brand, it should be your baby. You can't expect other people to treat it like their child as well, because it's not. Even if you pay them a lot of money to do the job for you, they're just doing a task, but they're not going to love it like their own child. Right? So some people expect the world for someone. If you hire someone and pay them this amount of money, it's like, okay, take care of my business. No, it's not. It's not like that.
It's not like that. Really.
My partner, who's a billionaire, always told me this. In business, you're the CEO and you're also the janitor. You build the building, but if there's a mess, you have to clean it up yourself at times. If there's a spill on your desk, you don't just call the janitor. You fix it yourself, right?
Antindi, no? I just, whew, wala akong masabi talaga. Wala akong masabi. I'm just really thankful right now na kasama ko ngayon and kausap ko ngayon yung mga gusto kong itanong. Pwede kong itanong sa kanya lahat ngayon and makuha ko lahat. Alam mo yun? Getting free knowledge. So, para din sa lahat to. Anyway, so, eto Anton, how did being an entrepreneur affected your family life?
Nothing really, because you have to find someone that shares your vision. And my wife, even if she's my yang to my yin, she's someone that actually believes in my vision and the things that I want to do. And she's the one that balances it out. Like, I'm the positive and energetic person. She's the one who's always gonna say, "Are you sure about this?" And things like that. So she balances everything out for me. So most important thing is, you find support from someone that actually, believes in you at the same time. Is your number one antagonist, kumbaga.
Mm-hmm.
Siya din yung mag-ano sa'yo eh. Sure ka ba dyan?
Mm-hmm.
Ganun. Parang konsensya mo na, sige, supportan kita, but are you sure about it? Whatever you're deciding, or because some people lack that support, whether it be from your best friend, to your significant other, or your parents. Finding someone that will actually think things through with you is really important. So my wife has been supportive of me ever since. We might not see things eye to eye most of the time, but at the end of the day, we're always looking for what's best for the family.
Mm-hmm. And do you believe there is some sort of pattern or formula to becoming a successful entrepreneur?
Yeah, like what I said a few minutes ago, slow and steady wins the race. Consistency, because it's not always about quality, but it's about quantity of work that you do. How many work you've done all throughout the years. Looking back, when I see every year, I always have this huge collaboration or partnership with someone or a business that I've done at least once a year. And it's consistent since 2011. I can name every brand that I worked with that I knew was successful. New partnership that I created every year from the time I started Soleslam and so on. So that's consistent. But you're always expanding your network. I think that's the perfect formula. Quantity over quality, because quality will come, but the quantity has to come from you. Now, if you're committing, for example, you're doing this podcast, and you're committing, like, let's say, one day in the week, let's say Friday or Saturday. Every week, you have to do it consistently. Saturday, no excuses. You're doing it every Saturday. So you build an audience and you keep that audience. Because, for example, you do one episode now, this Saturday, for example, and then the next episode is going to be 4 months after. Yeah. So
Right. So, eto medyo tong tanong na to eh. Do you consider yourself successful?
No. What I'm sharing right now is my journey to being successful. I'm not showing off things that I've accomplished in whatever I've done. I'm still trying to achieve a lot of things. I have a lot of things to cross out on my notebook, things I want to do, and I haven't even gone to half of them yet. So I don't think I'm successful, but I want to share my journey of trying to be successful. We all want to be successful, but not everyone is willing to put in the work to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Like you say na gusto mong pumayat, gusto maging fit, gusto maging athletic looking, parang build mo parang fighter's body, six pack and everything. You already know what to do. You need to do 100 push-ups every day, you need to do sit-ups, cardio and everything. But the thing is, you don't want to do it. This is fucking hard. Right? You don't want to do it. You don't want to eat the right kind of food. You know what to eat. You're not going to eat, fast food. Right? You're supposed to eat like steamed, boiled food, clean food. But then you're not doing it. But the amount of energy that you exert on saying what you want to do should equal the things that you want to actually show that you're doing, right? Because they say, you want to be great at something, you have to do it repeatedly, right? Like, remember when Bruce Lee said that, it's scarier to find someone who's doing the same punch 1,000 times every day than someone who's doing 100 different punches 100 times, right? There's a huge difference of doing something repeatedly, right? Compared to someone doing so many different things, because you're trying to do a lot of things all at the same time, but you're not doing it consistently. Like practice, like the Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off. Repetitive process. He's doing the same thing over and over again. It gets boring, right? But then when the time comes you need to actually do it, you can do it correctly because you've done it 1,000 times. Like the best basketball players in the world, like Michael Jordan, best clutch players that you can think of, Kobe Bryant, they know the shot will go in because they believe that they've done that repetitively already. Like 0.5 seconds left, they know where to put themselves and where to throw that ball because it's muscle memory already for them. They know how to do it. They've been there before. So it's not like figuring out because they've practiced, What you're seeing right now with people who are successful is a repetitive process of what they're doing day in and day out. Like you see someone who's a wealthy person who's successful and you say like, I want to be like him, but you don't know things that they've done behind the scenes that's undocumented that they've done all throughout the years to get there. You want to see a finished product, like you see a finished product, a great basketball player, but you don't know how many times he woke up 4 in the morning to shoot basketball, to train properly, to eat right, and to do all the things they need to do to be successful at what they do, right? You don't see that. Those things go undocumented, Not everyone has a GoPro on their head.
Then, what is your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur?
One day, I remember the people said, when you're a business owner, you have your own time. Actually, you don't. But the best thing is you're able to see things through. Being able to see things through from the time you conceptualize everything in your head to the time you pick up everything and put it up out there and it's running and then you make a mistake and it fails and you put it back up. The ups and downs of business, that's the best thing about it, the journey. There's not one piece of the journey that I don't like because it's a learning curve for you. Like every time I go into some sort of business, like for example, retail business, clothing business, the mistakes I made before, I'm not doing it now. But I'm still making mistakes now. So I don't do the same mistakes in the future. So it's always going to be a constant journey for me. And that's the fun part about it. So everything is a priority. You have to make time for everything. You can't say you're busy. That's the worst thing you can say right now. You're busy because you can just say it's not a priority, right? Like getting fit. You want to get fit, but it's third in your list. It's not number one in your list, right? Spending time with your family. You're gonna say you don't have time, but it's just in your top 4 priority, right? So everything, you know, has to have time for something. Just allocating time because we all have the same 24 hours.
Exactly.
You don't have 26 hours. I have 24 hours too, right?
So
We sleep all the same amount of hours. You could be sleeping for 4 hours. I could be sleeping for 6 hours. But the same thing. We're doing the same. We're given the same amount of time. So don't say you're not. You're too busy to do things because it's just not your priority. That's it.
There's this one book here that I'm reading. Eat That Frog. Alam mo to Sorry, na kay Mrs. So yeah, I've been reading this book. Eat That Frog. It's all about priorities. So how you line things up. Yeah, kagaya na sinasabi ni Anton. Anyway, so yeah, Anton, what has been your most satisfying moment in business?
Same thing. I would say seeing things through, like from the idea that comes across my head to sharing it to whoever my partner is or whoever I'm working with, sharing that vision to the point that when you open shop or you start off doing that or getting your first client. All of those are satisfying for me. I mean, the moment I started the first Soleslam event with friends in the sneaker industry. That was it. I think that was one of the main points of just life opening up to me even further. Because before that, I mean, I thought that life closed a door to me when we all lost our jobs, when we got retrenched from working in the corporate world. But it turns out it opened a window for me, a lot of windows. So now I have a holistic view on a lot of things. I'm in different industries, things that I'm not, things I didn't know I would be in as well, like in politics as an advisor. It's weird. I mean, politics is not my cup of coffee, but here I am advising a senator on how to tweet or how to do a YouTube account, how to go on Facebook Live, sharing articles that he wants to share. So, it's just great, just meeting so many people.
Galing. Galing. Alam mo, sorry. Sorry. So yeah, before we wrap this baby up, Anton, could you please give advice for small businesses, people who's just starting, and any messages, any message to our kababayans who's experiencing tough times?
Okay. I'm gonna make it very short and simple because I'm gonna be heading into my coaching session. Okay, so the important thing is find what you're really passionate about. Like, what are you fond of doing? Like, what's something you can talk about for hours and hours with your friend and never get tired of doing it over and over again? What's that one thing? And then when you find that, try to be better at that every day. Like, find new learning. Like, go on YouTube. You want to be a good gardener? Go on YouTube. How to be a great gardener, basics and everything. What do you need? Utensils, and stuff. Everything. You learn everything. I mean, everything is now online. You can learn everything. You want to make ube pandesal? You go on YouTube, and there's going to be 1,000 people saying how to make ube pandesal, right? So find one thing that you're good at and you feel like, it's going to be a good service for everyone. And then, so that's creating your lane. You created now your lane, right? That's your lane now. Like me, I started my lane on sneakers and streetwear. That's my lane. Now, as my lane goes longer and longer, because I have people who follow me and support me, I have this long road now that I've created, right? And from there, my road now widens. I'm not saying I have now a road A, road B. My road being from one one-way road that I'm growing with sneaker and streetwear, I now have a wider lane where I can talk about business because I have that body of work that I've been doing. So everything's slow and steady. I've been keeping my mouth shut for almost a decade because I've been putting in the work that I've been doing with Soleslam and everything else that I started with, and now it's running by itself. It's in perpetual motion. Now I can focus on different things that I want to do because it's already wide. I'm already widening my lane. Like no one can say now like stay the fuck in your lane, sneaker boy. No one can tell that to me now because I have so much body of work. Like stay in the lane. You're not a fashion designer. I'm not a fashion designer, but I've done so many collections already for different brands. Rafila, Heineken, Marlboro. I did collaborations with Mossimo and stuff. No one can say that I'm not a fashion designer, but I know I've grown my taste in that because I've been immersed in that situation or in that culture. You are what you dip yourself into, right? I mean, you hang out with 5 people who are designers. Most likely, you're gonna be a designer as well. You're gonna hang out with 5 people who are into politics. You're gonna be someone who's gonna be in politics as well, right? All these things. You're gonna be hanging out with 5 stupid people. At the end of the day, you're gonna be the 6th stupid person, right? So, that's just how I see it. You surround yourself with the best people that you can to grow whatever you're growing. Mentorship, I think, is kind of overrated for me. I mean, I'm a mentor myself, but I'm not a huge fan of it because I taught myself to be self motivated and stuff. But it's important to have someone that you learn from, constantly learn from, and teach you some things. And when you get the hang of it, it's something that you can pass on forward to some other people. So yeah. I think staying in your lane, creating your lane, staying in your lane, and then slowly widening your lane. That's the way to go. Whatever it is. If you're great at baking a cake right now, continue making the best red velvet cake right now. And then one day you're gonna open up your store and it's all red velvet cake that you're selling. You're gonna be cupcakes, red velvet cupcake, and now you can do mango graham, whatever it is, and grow from there. But you're famous for that thing, right? I saw that in the Japanese. This Japanese ramen house only did one specific ramen. There's nothing in their menu. It's just it. It's the best tasting ramen you'll ever taste. But it's the one thing they won't make. Nothing else. Everything else is just drinks. Yeah. So their dedication to just making that thing that they're doing perfect all throughout their life, because we lose so much attention at what we're actually doing now, right? Because there's so many things, distractions left and right. But when you focus on one thing, you think that you can be great at for a very long time. That's going to be the legacy you're going to leave. There's the legacy you're going to be leaving everyone.
Man, that was solid. So para yon sa lahat ng lahat mga kababayan natin dyan sa Pilipinas and also here sa UAE o kung saan man kumalat itong show natin. So that's, of course, ladies and gentlemen, Sir Antonio Aguirre.
Thank you so much. Appreciate all your time and effort, listening to us here.
Maraming salamat po ulit. So, before we end the show, I just wanted to show this to them. Itong life deck with Antonio Aguirre Jr. So, this is saan to? Sa Anchor.fm. So,
yeah.
Uh-huh. So yeah, you could check this out and ito maririnig nyo rin siya sa Spotify. Tama? And
yes. When you go to anchor.fm/lifetechshow, you see all the list of platforms where you can listen. So it's in Apple Podcasts, Overcast, so 1, 2, 3, 4. It's available on 8 different podcast platforms. You see the small icons. Yeah. So you can click on all of those, and that's where you can check out the live tech podcast. So yeah, I just came up with a new episode with Carlo Ople. It's out right now. That's my latest episode for season 3.
Season 3. Okay. Season 3 na pala. So ang dami kong kailangang panoorin. And sigurado ako marami akong makukuha dito.
Thank you so much.
Maraming salamat po ulit, Sir Anton. And yes, we would like to thank as well. We would like to thank again our sponsors: Dubai Exclusive Fitness, Alchemist Clothing, Flawless Beauty UAE, Chroma DXB, Sulud Misoy. We would like to thank as well Hope and Inspire Movement dito dyan sa Pilipinas. You can visit their Facebook and Instagram page at Hope and Inspire Movement Official. Please reach them at +63 917 627 4392. And of course, K Baroga for Lash and Bro dito located sa Dera for microblading, eyelash lift. You could contact again K at 054-588-5313. So maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nanood, and maraming salamat din po ulit, Sir Anton.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you guys.
Okay, all right. So para sa lahat, stay safe. God bless.
Thanks everyone. Stay happy.